Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Dungeon Crawl. It seemed to get a pretty good response, so we're going to get right back on into it. As you can see, I have updated to the newest version, and if you can't see, I highly suggest opening it up in the highest quality here on YouTube, because, to be honest, this game uses a lot of text, and it's just kind of the way this kind of game is. And there is a more up-to-date version. I'm using 0.14, and the most updated version on the website is 0.15, but you have to go to the trunk client on the web page thing, and I've never been a big fan of playing games like this in a web tiles environment. It just don't do it for me. So we're going to go on into this. As you can see, there are a few new races. There's quite a few of them now. You got Lava Orc and Vine Stalker being probably the two coolest ones that were added, but first thing we're going to do, I was thinking about what character I should go with, and I kept thinking, I want to do a Berserker, but I did a Berserker last time, so let's choose a random race, and it chose for us a Deep Dwarf. Now, Deep Dwarves have incredibly high aptitude. I can go change species. We'll play a Deep Dwarf no matter what. Deep Dwarves live underground and cannot regenerate health naturally, but they are very resilient to damage and carry tools to heal. Now, what this also does not say is that they are incredibly proficient with earth magic. And, you know, they're dwarves, so, I mean, shit, I mean, they're not too bad with warrior-based shit, but we did a warrior-based do-hickey thing before, so let's go with an earth elementalist this time, just because we can. So, Deep Dwarf, earth elementalist. We started out in the most random of fucking places, next to some lava and some water. The Deep Dwarfs also get the ability to just see random bits and pieces of God knows what the dungeon anyway. Let's see if we can go over here to skills, manage skills. As you can see, they have an aptitude of +3 to earth magic, and in evocations, that's using stuff like your magic wands and your stuff like that of +4, meaning that they train that quite incredibly quickly, actually, but their spell casting is a bit shoddy. Their stealth is actually kind of ridiculously high. I didn't notice that. They have more skills as well, which we can look at here. You can see they have quite a lot of red, but surprisingly they have an aptitude for necromancy. They're deep dwarves after all. I guess that kind of makes sense because they're kind of evil. They also have a really high aptitude for using divine abilities, which is, as well, kind of surprising. As you can see, the first thing we found is a bat, so I'm just going to pick up the scroll, and we're going to use our first ability which we get, which is Sand Blast, which, you know, you just basically, it's like pocket sand, you know? Except, you know, dwarfy. Bats are going to continue to be probably one of the most problematic things that we're ever going to have to run into. And I'm going to butcher the shit out of him just for some extra food. You know, I don't know. We're not followers of Trog this time, so we don't have to specifically worry about using bodies for sacrificing to our god. Let's go put on that rig. No idea what it is. We'll figure it out eventually. We don't have to sacrifice bodies, so now I can save my bread rations and whatever other rations we get, and just use some meat that we occasionally find. Now, earth magic, and as with most magic in this game, typically gets more powerful when you have a close relationship with whatever you're trying to cast. Like if you do ice magic, you have being in like an ice form, you know, freezing yourself makes you more powerful, you know, because you're closer to your element. And in this, for earth magic, what makes it more powerful is wielding and having stones. As you can see here, if you read it, I might actually have to go to here. It works best when the caster provides some source for wielding a stone, but will do what it can with whatever available grid is available. So, for us, in this scenario, if we go around collecting stones, which we are going to do, we can use that to basically just amplify our, you know, that ability, which is really, really nice. I like that. It gives us a reason to pick up an item that, honest to God, probably wouldn't be used under normal circumstance. Also, as you can see, we already do kill stuff relatively quickly with it. The Deep Dwarfs have a relatively high earth magic aptitude, as we saw earlier, so they, you know, are really good at this. I mean, it's pretty crazy. But we don't really specifically need to use those stones right now for it, but we will save them for when shit hits the fan. And in this kind of game, shit always hits the fan. It's almost the name of the game, except it's not because it's dungeon crawl, but you kind of get the idea. Rotting flesh, hunk thing, don't need it. I was kind of thinking we might need to eat sooner, but, you know, obviously not. Go figure. Fuck me for trying to plan ahead. Where'd you go, you little ass? There you go. Okay, got him. Health does not regenerate on the deep dwarves either. That's why one of the items that it did start us out with is a wand of healing, and it gave us a device recharging spell, which allows us to recharge a wand or rod at the cost of 1 mana. 1 max mana. It's magic. I'm gonna call it mana because I don't know. I'm old. Leave me alone. Go away. Get off my lawn. Except this ain't my lawn. You get the idea. It's so stupid. I would never do that. I don't know. Especially since we are going you know, a class that needs mana. It seems like a really dumb thing to do. So what we're probably going to end up doing is following a god, probably Makleb. I think Makleb would be best. Somebody who can give us the ability to heal as we kill things, and he would also probably give us a few spells to use. And since we do have a very high ability to use divine spells as a deep dwarf, it's not actually a bad idea to kind of go a mixed thing like that. It gives us a lot of openings. Swear to God, I do not want to die against this guy. There we go. And we probably will have to use the wand every so often in scenarios like this, because sleeping doesn't do a goddamn thing. But yeah, I had to pause it right there for just a second. I'm having a bit of an issue with the computer. I'm thinking we're pretty much done with this floor too. I don't really give a shit about fighting that guy, except he really gives a shit about fighting us. So you know what? I may have to heal myself real quick. Let's see if we let's hope that that's enough to get us out of this little pickle without having to resort to anything drastic. Kill the rat. I'm gonna pick up a sword, just so that we have something that we can rely on when our mana is not up, which in the beginning is going to be quite often. Now we do have a few other spells that we can get as time goes on. The first and most foremost being more than likely that we're going to pick up a stone skin, which allows us to harden our skin, and honest to God, you guys, I mean, if you're watching this, you played video games before. You know, when you see a name, you kind of know what it's going to be. You see stone skin, oh boy, he's going to turn the skin to stone. Well, yeah, no shit. I don't know. I feel like nowadays, what the fuck? Now go to ball python. Yeah, good, we killed it. with actual relatively no damage taken, actually. Alright, as long as we can catch up to them while they're sleeping, we should be able to just sandblast them in the face and kill them, which is good because we have actually really high stealth, and there should be nothing in here. It's just a passage between two places, and I knew it was because I don't know. I just wanted to go look into it anyway. I've seen trees, and that's never a good sign when we see trees in a dungeon like this. Especially when it's like this. So we might actually have a, I wouldn't say a boss, but something related to a boss coming up soon. There we go, destroy that guy. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm debating on how much I really want to go in here. So, go learn Stone Skin. Alright, how much does that actually raise it? It's got a relatively low power. No range, obviously, but... effects of the spell will be boosted. Boosted by casters in statue form, which we are not. Take that pair because we're getting a little bit hungry. There we go. This crazy Ewok. And my line of fire to him is blocked by the trees, so we can't really do too much with him. He's pretty badass. And he's really, really scary, and I'm going to go... I forgot what the button for wield is. Okay, there we go. We killed him, actually. Boy, howdy, that was terrifying. He's really, really terrifying because he can really often just completely butterfuck you because of his staff. If you can't tell, if you can read this, you can probably tell he's kind of fucking nutters. Basically, every time he hits you, it causes random effects. And we wielded the stone to make the sandblast a little bit more powerful, and we were able to use that to our advantage. So we're gonna use his cloak too. I can give that to me. Yeah, it's cursed, whatever. It's not like we are gonna like ever change out a fucking cloak. His staff is really, really powerful early on in the game. It's just also powerful for him too. There you go, Terrence. Let's stone skin up. We did, alright. Okay, our skin hardened. Beat the shit out of him. There we go. Goody goody 2x4s. I could... Nah, I'm not going to wear the scale mail. If we find some dwarven armor, or some dwarven robes, alright, is that what we're wearing at the moment? Just regular robes? I guess they don't have dwarven robes. And that's an altar to Nemelont Zobaz. We're not going to do anything with him because he's a gambling god. And a ring of magical power. That's going to help a lot. That itself is going to help a lot. Let's see. And this should just lead back up here. It's going to be dead end. Yes, sirree, Bobby boy. Beat the shit out of you. The good thing is this quarterstaff is enchanted with chaos, so it just does random shit every time it hits somebody. Problem is it just got to hit people. This is going to be a dead end. Yes, sirree, Bob. Alright, let's go over here. And it gives us a really good way to maybe kind of get through this early bits where magic is honestly pretty weak. Early on, magic can be a pain in the ass just because of how weak it can be. But hopefully for us, we'll be able to skip most of that with this amazing staff. Kind of got a little lucky with Yusuf. I don't think he hit us. And moreover, I don't think... I'm only wearing 2 rings. Ring of invisibility, that could be useful. I think this is going to be... No, not a ring not a thing. Yeah, it's an uncursed thing. About you, magic, mapping. Please be? No, I'm just gonna use these. It doesn't really matter, we're gonna get plenty more, and that was a curse armor thing, and that was a teleport scroll. Hello! What's up, guys? Beat the shit out of all y'all. If I can catch the bat anyway. Anyway, there we go. Bat successfully killed. Alright, and that's an altar to the Shining One. Not really looking forward to getting in with him. I mean, he's not a bad guy. Just, for us, he's honest. You know what? He's pretty bad. I hate him. I haven't found a single scenario where I've ever wanted to use him as a god. Or anything, really. I mean, he's not bad. It's just, he's not my cup of tea. Now, I say that saying absolutely nothing about what he does, because I don't know what he does. I can't remember off the top of my head. All I know is that, from what I remember, he's pretty shitty. Overall, most of the good gods are. They kind of don't have any real major downsides. They don't really add a whole lot besides protecting you from just random occurrences. And, well, I understand that. Oh, it's a book. That's a fucking book. What is this a book of? A book of calling. This gives us the ability to call small mammals, canine familiars, a guardian golem, an ice beast, and a lightning spire. Now, most of these don't have anything to do with what we do, but maybe branching out into summoning ain't really all that bad for us. Now, is it? I don't think there's going to be much in this room here. Oh, just a snake, which I kind of passed right by. Butcher that. Eat the meat. Take the bread. Fuck that guy. I didn't take the bread. Give me the bread. I'll take that meat too. Fuck yeah. We need all the meat we can get. We gotta go up in here in the upper corner to actually leave this fucking place. Alright. And we should be able to just leave out through here. I don't want to heal myself just yet because I feel like we're not going to run anything too bad yet. So I'm not really worried about getting one-shot by anything, even with this low of health. So, can I eat that chunk of rat flesh? I really want to eat that chunk of rat flesh before it rots. Because, you know, that really nothing else whets the appetite more than just rotted rat flesh. Hungry and chunk of rat flesh. Good. Knew I brought that along for a reason. The weird thing is, you can't cook anything in this game. So you kind of have to just, you know, go with the flow on a lot of stuff. Shit out of you. And I like saving the rations for later. It's because you start running into a lot of scenarios where you don't have access to clean meat. And rations never go bad. They just don't. It's not a bad thing. It is a thing. So, in the scenario, neither do oranges. I mean, basically you need the food you get: pizzas, oranges, apples, bananas, all of that. Although I refuse to eat bananas for personal and religious reasons. They just never go bad, and it's very odd. And that is an orcish idol. This is where things could get very, very hairy very, very quickly. So let us equip that. And I keep casting the wrong spell. Sandblast. We need to clear these guys out relatively quickly, because usually around these idols is abso-fucking-lutely nothing. Okay, never mind. Usually around these you got a lot of orcs and a lot of just things guarding it, and they get really angry when you're around. Fuck you. There we go. Killed. What was he wearing? Orcish stuff. We can find dwarf and stuff. That'd be pretty baller, but I don't think we're going to be finding any of that anytime soon. Plus, we also did find quite a number of stones. We're up to 82 stones. That's basically 82 sandblasts. And I have the stones equipped, and I can't hit this guy to save my fucking life. Also, for anybody who may be wondering, I am just hitting Z, which uses the last spell that I have, and then I just enter because it always auto-targets usually the toughest threat, so I generally use that to make the magic a little bit easier to go about doing or using. Is there a corpse here? I want to get the rat corpse. Drop that here. Butcher it. I didn't want to get the other one because it was poisonous, and I didn't want to have to go through the whole fiddly thing of, oh, do you want to do this one or this one? Because I, at the end of the day, am a lazy bitch, so... Okay, see, this is where things could get bad. Exactly, it's pretty much exactly like that. I died.